Hello everyone, it's Shaniqua from What Shaniqua's Into, and today is Spiritual Sunday. We're about to jump into some tarot cards to see what guidance Spirit has for us this week. And this week we are using the Bonefire Tarot by the lovely Gabby Angus West. These cards are a bit reflective, so I'm going to do my best to make sure that you guys can actually see the images that I'm showing you. But I'm really excited to jump into the collective reading for the week. After I film this video, I will be filming 4 more to do all of the elemental groups for the zodiac signs. So I'm going to do fire signs, air signs, water signs, and earth signs. Fire signs being Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, air signs being Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, water signs being Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and earth signs being Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So if the messages in this video resonate, but you want a little bit more detail or you want something more specific to you, make sure that you come back to the channel and check out the reading for your zodiac group. So without any further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle and cut and pull the cards. I'm just gonna cut that part out so we can jump right into the cards, and I'll see you guys at the reading. Okay, everybody, I have shuffled, I've cut, and I have pulled the cards for the spread for this week for the collective. This week's spread is a little bit different. I decided to sort of redesign it and add some different positions just to get something that I felt was better suited to weekly collective readings. So the positions for this week's spread are the overall feeling or vibe of the week, the collective lesson that we're all learning together, how this lesson is going to change us, how to be brave and rise to that challenge, something for us all to remember or keep in mind this week, and a card for overall advice. So that's 6 positions total. I haven't pulled the top and bottom card for the context and deeper lesson like I normally do, mainly because for the zodiac readings, I'm gonna be doing affirmation cards and personal power cards as well as tarot cards, so they're going to be a lot more specific. So again, for anybody who watches this and wants something that drills down into a little bit more detail or just feels more specific and better suited to them, make sure you check out those videos. But let's go ahead and see what we got for the collective today / this week. So the overall feeling or vibe that this week is going to give is found in the 7 of Swords. The collective lesson that's being learned is found in the 3 of Wands. Then this lesson is going to challenge us through justice, which makes sense. Then how we can be brave and rise to this challenge is found in the 8 of Pentacles. Very fitting. Something for us to remember or keep in mind is the 8 of Cups. So we got 2 8s, 2 cards of power and cycles. And then our overall advice card for the week is found in the Knight of Wands. Okay, so going card by card, I feel like this week is one where we're going to feel more observant than participatory, if that's the word I'm looking for. I feel like this week we're gonna watch rather than do in a lot of respects, or it could be more about keeping things kind of under wraps to ourselves until such time as we feel ready to share, or like sharing won't mess up whatever it is that we're working on. Because the 7 of Swords is often called the thief card, because it shows a guy, he's like holding, he's got like 5 of the 7 swords in this particular art, and he's double-headed. One of his heads is a wolf head, and there's like a pair of eyes, actually 2 pair of eyes in the background, kind of watching what he's doing through this very like foggy, cloudy landscape that he's in. And this is also an Aquarius card, and if you know anybody who is an Aquarius or has like strong Aquarius energy in their birth chart, you know they're very mindful with what they actually speak. They hold a lot because they would much rather be careful about who they're giving their mental energy to, who they're giving their focus to, just because information is power, and holding that can keep you empowered because you're not dispersing the energy around whatever it is you're thinking. And the reason that the feeling and vibe that this week is bringing is going to help us kind of keep things to ourselves and observe and like keep things a secret is because we're learning how to set things in motion for the long term. That's why we have the Three of Wands here as the collective lesson being learned. Swords are air, wands are fire. So the thematic controlling energy of the week is strengthened and boosted by the lesson that we're learning. You know, this air and fire is like feeding each other. So by watching how things are developing and keeping things to yourself, it's going to help you actually pick the best time and circumstances to set things in motion for a long-term outcome. And it's going to be a challenge in the sense that now there's like no excuses, because being mindful and observant really does give you more information on when to act and what to do. And justice is about fairness and balance and getting out something that is equivalent to what you put in. So there is no reward without work. And if you feel punished or kind of beaten down by life, it's almost always going to come back to some decision or choice that you've made or chosen not to make. It's very, very rare that there's a true, like 100% not responsible for it victim. I know I kind of jumbled that up, but it's very rare that the harsh or difficult or negative experiences in our life, like the things that make us cry, woe is me, this isn't fair, why does this always happen to me? It's very rare that those types of things are completely out of our control. There's almost always something that it comes back to that we can take full responsibility for. Even if it wouldn't change the situation 100%, maybe it would change it 15% or 20%, but it would be enough of a change to change the experience altogether. So it's a challenge because knowing that we are being observant and careful with what information that we're sharing to further long-term goals and kind of set things off at the perfect time, there's no excuses anymore. And that can be difficult to kind of reconcile within the ego, because it's easy to blame something outside of the self, rather than accepting that like there's a natural balance to our actions and what consequences or repercussions come from those. But we can rise to that challenge through consistent effort with an eye towards quality. That's what the Eight of Pentacles is really about. This is something iterative, something repetitive, something that is increasing the craftsmanship and level of skill each time that we do it. But you have to show up consistently in order to actually channel this Eight of Pentacles path of mastery type of energy. So yes, it can be difficult to realize like some of the more negative aspects of your life are manifestations of your own creation, at least to some degree. But when you do own that, then you have the tools to iteratively make better decisions that are more in alignment with the vision that you have for yourself, and where you want to take things long term. So just keep that in mind, that it's about repeatedly showing up on days that you feel like it and days that you don't. And something that we're asked to remember and keep in mind is found in the Eight of Cups. And this is the card of a spiritual journey. Or I normally see this card and think this is a time when we're recognizing that fulfillment has to come from an internal place rather than an external one. And there's a spiritual or emotional journey taken in order to figure out, where have I been putting my need for love or acceptance or commitment outside of myself? Where have I been looking for validation or fulfillment in other people? And why have I made those choices? What can I do to like reverse that trajectory and get that fulfillment from inside of me, and what around me needs to change. It's really a time where you're just asking a lot of questions about what can stay, what can go, and what needs to change within yourself in order to stop externalizing your happiness or your level of emotional stability or fulfillment. And the overall advice to actually do that and do it consistently and do it from a wise, sort of discerning, watching place is found in the Knight of Wands. And this knight is really energetic, very much looking for, I don't want to say the party, but like this knight really wants to see like what's popping, what's lit, like where can I have fun, like where can I really like kind of let loose and express myself and shine, you know, and what can like invigorate me. So as you're thinking about what you want to set in motion for the long term and what you can take responsibility for and put in an amount of energy that is equivalent to the result you're trying to create, while being excited and happy and playful and feeling just really vibrant while you're doing it, that's what you need to be asking yourself. You need to be asking yourself, where have I not embodied that type of energy? Where have I avoided things that would invigorate me or make me passionate or light me up? And why have I been avoiding those things? Like, what is that avoidance fulfilling in me? Because remember, like what we're asked to remember is this Eight of Cups. And this is a journey looking to have more permanent or reliable sources of emotional fulfillment, meaning that they have to come from within you. So if there's a need for that, and Spirit is asking us as a collective to remember that we need to take this internal spiritual emotional journey, while advising us to look for excitement and vibrancy in our experiences, that tells me that has kind of been avoided, that we haven't been, as a collective, really seeking that energy. And it's a need to ask why. Because every decision that we make is helping the ego cope in some way. I shouldn't say every, but most decisions that we make from a less than mindful place is helping the ego to cope in some way, helping the brain to feel like, okay, I'm gonna survive. So if you've been making choices that have taken a lot of light out of your life, or just sort of said no to the invitation to invite more in, there's a reason behind that, and it's something for us to explore this week, because it's helped your mind, your ego in some way, even if it's resulted in like sadness, depression, loneliness. In some way, there's some subconscious belief that justifies creating those experiences for yourself, because somehow subconsciously you feel like it's protecting you or sustaining you. I was gonna say maintaining, but sustaining you. So be observant this week. Really be careful about what thoughts you are sharing with whom and when. Remember that knowledge is power and information is power. So be careful who you are empowering with what information you are disseminating. And take responsibility for your choices. Remember that the universe is one of balance, and the decisions that we make, the actions that we take, do have energetically equivalent outcomes. So own up to what you have created in your life, be it good or bad, and reflect on the balance that is indicated by what you're experiencing, and what you might want to change or upgrade in the status quo or like level that you've become accustomed to. Okay? So that is what I have for the collective this week. I hope that this reading was helpful. Please do remember to check out the video for your zodiac group, because that's going to be a bit more specific and really help everybody kind of understand how they can work with their energy to embrace the messages in this collective reading and really act on that advice and integrate the lessons. Okay, so if anybody watching this would like a personal reading, you can go to my website, writingwithtarot.com, and you can purchase a spread. You can also DM me on Instagram or through the contact me form on my website if you have any questions or need anything clarified. Again, I do hope that this video was helpful, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great week. Bye.